residential campus. We also have our West Campus, Mullica Hill, which is a lot closer to our main campus, and that's a growing part of our campus with new athletic practice fields. We have our South Jersey Technology Park, which houses some business incubators for our Rohr College of Business. So a lot of really cool things happening over there as well. And colleagues, feel free to chime in if you ever want to. Other campus locations. So we are one of 3 universities in the entire country that have 2 medical granting programs. So we have our Cooper Medical School, Rowan University, which is located in Camden. That is the MD program. And then we have our Rowan University School of Osteopathic Medicine in Stratford, and that is our DO program. So naturally, we are educating a lot of our undergraduate students for pre-health, and we do have a lot of our students who apply to one of our medical schools, but you're not limited to that. We have a great pre-health program that prepares all of our students in the pre-health majors to attend any medical school that they would like to. So again, you're not limited to that, but we do have a lot of students that go to Rowan Med. We have our Rick and Jean Edelman Planetarium at Rowan University, which is really neat. It's part of our science building. We do a lot of really neat shows there, community activities, and it's really important for us to kind of excite the community around us, especially the young ones, about the STEM program. So we always offer shows for them to come and just get excited about science. For Jean and Rick Edelman Fossil Park, which is in Sewell, New Jersey. And as you can see, Jean and Rick are alums, and they are sweetheart alums from Rowan University, and they have been really instrumental in the growth of Rowan. So our schools and colleges, again, if you have questions, guys, feel free to ask. We are answering your questions as you are asking them. Schools and colleges. So we have all of these schools. I won't go into each and every one of them. We like to point them out so you can see that these are where all of our majors are housed under. When I talk to students, I always encourage them to really dig deep on our within each program, and you can do that through a number of different things. We are going to be hosting sessions this whole month with our different colleges where you can really go in and ask some questions that are really focused in on that major. But each of our colleges offer majors, they offer minors, they offer specializations and concentrations, and this is your opportunity to really specialize your degree. So, for instance, our College of Business, they have a specialization in accounting forensics. I think that's a really neat program. Our psychology program, they offer a specialization in child behavior services. So again, you can see that it can get really specific in your major. That's a good opportunity for you to, specialize in something. So I always encourage students to, one, ask your admissions counselor. You can always reach out to us and we can get you those answers and help you dig deep there. If you are an incoming student, you're going to have the opportunity to meet with your academic advisor. That's another great person to have that conversation with. So just letting you know to definitely explore that. Our enrollment profile. So right now we're about 16,000 undergraduate students, and across all categories, that's including our undergraduate, our graduate students, and our med schools, we're looking at about 19,618 students. So we are growing. Undergraduate students, oh, is that graduate? Is that supposed to be undergraduate, 2,400? I feel like it was always, maybe not. Yeah, okay, so our freshman retention rate is 86%. So that means that our students who are starting in freshman year, 86% of them are returning in that second year. So, the average rate across the country is about in the mid-70s. So that's a really good number, and that tells us that our students are happy, and we're always working to increase that number. Like I was saying, our school is a medium-sized school, but you're really going to get an intimate class setting when you are on campus. So the student to faculty ratio is 17:1, and the average class size is 20. Last year was around 22. In my experience, my freshman classes tend to be, closer to like 25, 28. And as I got closer to my senior year, my classes got small. I even had a senior class with 9 students in it. So that really gives you the opportunity to connect with your faculty. My first internship was through one of my teachers. So that was really special. And I think that's important because a lot of the faculty are professionals in their area. So it's really great to have that as a network. And, you feel like they get to know you and they care about you. And it was really nice to have that opportunity. I study abroad on campus as well. 100 different programs in 36 different countries. So definitely encourage students to do that. That is a wonderful opportunity to, explore the world. So what we're looking for on a freshman application, so we are Common App exclusive. We are going to be looking for your application fee or a waiver form. So if you were eligible for the SAT waiver, there's a good chance you're eligible for the waiver form for the Common App. We'll be looking for high school transcripts. So this will come directly from your high school school counselor. The SAT, ACT scores, but we're also test optional. So if you have a 3.5 GPA, you can choose to do the test optional route. But other than that, we also super score. So if you've taken the SAT test more than once, know that you can submit all of those test scores, and we're always going to super score and take your highest scores. Letters of recommendation, they can come from your teachers in high school. They can come from coaches, anybody that you feel that could speak to your character and your work ethic, I think is a great recommendation letter. And then for some of our programs, there are some additional things. So I always tell students, once you apply, you will get an email from us saying we've received your application with a link into a status portal, and this will keep you constantly updated with your application, so you know what we may need to complete your application. I mean, this is important because some programs do need additional paperwork, so some auditions, some portfolio reviews. Our EOF program, you have to be sure that you have your financial aid done. So we keep you on track with a checklist on that student portal. Additionally, on the student portal, you're going to receive a decision letter. You're going to get your college financing plan on that student portal. And then once you enroll and submit your deposit, you get an interactive checklist that helps you continue that enrollment process. And that is applying for housing and meals, signing up for orientation, setting up your network account. So that student portal is super important. So definitely check your email because that is where we send all of that information. So a little bit about deadlines. January 31st was our merit scholarship deadline. We did extend our fall enrollment to June 1st. If you haven't enrolled yet, you have until June 1st to submit that enrollment deposit. The average freshman applicant profile. So the average admitted GPA is a 3.7. The SAT mid-range is a 1070 to a 1270, and the ACT composite score is a 27. So again, these are just averages. All of our programs are different. Our engineering program is the most competitive, so we are looking at higher SATs for that program, starting about 1300, 1310. But for most programs, the mid-range is between a 1070 and a 1270. So we do accept transfer applications as well. New Jersey is a very transfer-friendly state. So the requirements for that is to apply on our rowan.edu/applications. They are not on the Common App. Super easy application. We, at this point, are accepting official and unofficial transcripts from all colleges and universities that you've attended. We need them all. Once you get those transcripts, they go through a credit evaluation. And then if you have fewer than 24 college credits, then you'll also need to submit your high school transcript. We do offer scholarships for our transfer students, the Transfer Trustee Scholarships, and those are awarded to outstanding students transferring from New Jersey community colleges. A little bit about tuition, fees, room and board. So we do have an in-state and out-of-state tuition. That differs. We have $14,000 for our in-state students and $22,832 for our out-of-state. Room and board is the same for both in-state and out-of-state students, and this $12,904 is an average price for a freshman student. You know, we do have a number of different residence halls and the apartments and Holly Point Commons on campus, and they all cost a little bit different. So this can have some wiggle room here. Bringing the total cost for an in-state student to about $26,904, and the total cost for an out-of-state student, $35,736. So this is very black and white here. This does not include your scholarships, any federal or state grants that you may receive by filling out the FAFSA. So you'll get, and I'll actually see what's the next. We'll talk about this now, the college financing plan, because I know when we show, you know, the in-state and out-of-state tuition, when you get that college financing plan, it's a little fluffier as far as the numbers, and I want to be able to explain that to you guys. So scholarships and financial aid, you want to fill out the FAFSA. This is really important. This will show you if you're eligible for any federal or state aid, which can be really helpful. Every dollar counts. But you'll also see if you're eligible for the federal loans. the Rowan University Scholars Program, so our foundation scholarship. I like to talk about the foundation scholarship because it's not something that you actually see during the admissions process. We offer foundation scholarship to all students, matriculated students in the fall. There's over 200 different scholarships available. They're available based on your participation in and off campus, financial need, and merit. So one thing I learned the hard way is that college isn't paid with monopoly money. So I know through this whole admissions process and doing all this enrollment process, the last thing you probably want to do is fill out another essay or application, but it's totally worth it. These are 200 scholarships that are ready to be given to Rowan students. Our transfer trustee scholarship, which I talked about, and then we have our merit-based scholarship for students, which again we talked about. They range based on an 1170 SAT and a 3.0 GPA. So the higher your SAT, the higher GPA, the more that you'll receive. And then for my students who are maybe juniors, I don't know if we have juniors in the room today and below, Raise Me is a great opportunity for you to receive a scholarship. So these are micro scholarships. You can earn up to $24,000. You go onto the raise.me site, and you start filling things out. So you'll get scholarship for one, attending an event on campus, for getting A's in your core classes, for taking honors and AP courses, for being involved in your community. So all these little things you put on your resume really can help build up an additional scholarship. Now, I'd like to note, though, with the Raise Me, if you receive a Raise Me scholarship and you've also received a scholarship from us, you won't get both. You'll get one, and you'll get the one that's the highest. So if we've given you a merit scholarship that was higher than what we've offered you on Raise Me, you're going to get the merit. I also want to mention the college financing plan for my students in here who have been accepted and got the college financing plan. So I'm going to go back one slide just because I get this question a lot. So you see here the in-state tuition is $26,000, and on the college financing plan, it may have been a larger number. But on the college financing plan, that is not a bill from Rowan University. That is just basically to help you kind of understand and break down some different costs. So the first two line items is going to be tuition, and then there's room and board. So those are kind of what we call hard costs. It's not going to change. That tuition is the same for everybody. But then there's three bottom lines. I believe it's books and supplies, transportation, and miscellaneous costs. And again, those are things that Rowan is not going to do a bill for. But it's things I think that all students should keep in mind. You are going to need to buy books. I was super savvy, and I rented my books. So I didn't spend $2,000 a year on books. I believe the transportation cost for most students is around $3,000. You're not going to spend $3,000 unless you're flying to LA every weekend. So those are things that you can really kind of, say, I'm not going to need that much, and going around is not going to cost as much either. So just you can keep that in mind. Student and campus life, these are just a very small snippet, very small snippet of what happens on campus. You'll never be bored. We have, a number of different clubs and activities for students to really get involved with, and just activities that our student university programmers put on every weekend. We do have Greek life on campus, 13+ dining options just on our campus alone. But if you walk on Rowan Boulevard and the surrounding community, there's just many more than that, and they all accept the Rowan card. So you can certainly use your Rowan Borrow, across the Rowan Boulevard eateries. 150 clubs and organizations. We have academic clubs, social clubs, anything you can think of. And if we don't have a club that you like, you can start your own club, which is great. We are Division III at Rowan. We have 8 men's and 10 women's varsity sports, plus some intramural and club sport programs. So if you're not looking to participate in our division sports, all of the programs that we offer in the division are also offered as intramural and club sports, in addition to things like, some students do parkour. We have our MMA club, we have a wrestling club. The list goes on. We have a volleyball, flag football, co-ed. So again, many ways to get involved. Rowan Boulevard is our newest addition to our Rowan campus. This is, a lot of eateries and businesses on the bottom of the buildings. Then we have some academic space on the middle levels, and also some housing for students. So really robust Rowan Boulevard. Definitely wasn't there when I was a student. But it's really exciting to see students, kind of walking through Rowan Boulevard and, eating out and right there on the patios. It's just a really robust part of campus. So I tried to get through that really quick so we can get to your questions and make this more about you, but I just wanted to kind of throw some of that stuff out there. So are we getting questions, Janelle?
Done. So really excited about some of the questions. Some of the students were asking things as you were reviewing them. I'm so happy that we're on the call to help to be able to go through them. So the most recent question that I've gotten to is Sharp asked, is it possible to major in music and biology or science since they're both credit intensive? If so, do we apply as a bio major and then request a music audition? So yes, you are loving both worlds. And if you double major, you will be with us a little longer. And so if you'd like to major in one of the other, major in one, and then let's talk with your advisor on how we can get the most credits to get closer to your double degree. As I said, it will take you a little longer, but we would love to have you and to be able to explore. Or let's set up some more time to talk about both of those majors and what that might look like for you and how we can see how biology and or music can intersect so that you can graduate maybe with a major and then have a minor in one of them.
Yeah.
Do you have anything else to add?
I think you have a lot of students who do double major, but she was definitely right when those are two really intense programs. But there are some programs that aren't, not that they're not intense, but there is a lot more opportunity to overlap programs where you won't be here for longer than 4 years. But that was definitely correct in saying that, some programs, will require that. But I think the most important thing is to connect with your academic advisor so that you're being strategic and picking your classes. You don't just want to do that on your own, and you can really just extend your time there if you do that. I think your academic advisor is well-versed in, basically picking classes that'll suffice for both programs. So you can, kill two birds with one stone. So that is the most important thing. Your advisor should be your best friend.
There was a clarification for Raise Me. It's raise.me. And there was also a question, is it available for transfers? Unfortunately, it's not available for transfers at this point. There are some transfer-specific scholarships that you would be eligible for, but at this time, Raise.me is not one of them. Due to COVID, Shamar asked, 19, if I'm accepted, would my freshman year be online? As we are navigating this at so many other universities and institutions, we are trying our best and hearing from the students and their needs to get you into the classroom and looking at different options. So from what I understand, it has not been determined, but your Rowan experience, just as this, can be like none other. And the hope is to get you on campus sooner than later. I don't know if ladies, you have something to share as well.
I'll add to that too. We have a really great website for you guys to check out. So if you go to rowan.edu/virusinfo, any updates the university is putting out regarding our changes due to the virus are all posted on there. So anytime there's updates, it's always posted on there, and we email our students and let them know. So you guys can get comfortable checking that out as well. As Dr. Alexander said, at this point, no decisions have been made yet for the fall. We are totally in compliance with CDC and following all guidelines to make sure our staff and students are safe as possible. So we will continue to do so. If there are changes, again, we'll let students know as soon as possible.
Yep. Another question is, do we have club sports? We do have competitive and club sports that we offer on campus. For those who'd like to, we are a Division III institution, but if you just want to just continue playing for the love of the game, we do offer club sports as well. Alexandria says, I'm going to be a senior in high school this fall. When should I apply? Applications begin, I want to say, late August. Common App opens. And as I share with students all the time, Common App is not to be completed in one day. So take your time in completing your application. Open it up in August. Look at your questions. Look at what needs to be answered so that it's done completely and thoroughly. Oftentimes coming from you as a senior, this is your footprint. This is your first impression for not only Rowan University, but other institutions on who you are. So it's never too early to start thinking and preparing for your application that opens in August.
Yeah, I was going to share with the current clubs and sports for that question. Just throwing some other, it amazes me. So we have archery, ballroom dance. We offer baseball, basketball, women's basketball, cheerleading, crew, cycling, dance. We have an equestrian club, a fencing club, field hockey, fishing, golf, ice hockey, karate, self-defense, MMA, an outdoors club, paintball club, powerlifting, Quidditch. I didn't know that was a thing. Yeah, is that Harry Potter? Probably actually. Racquetball, rock climbing, roller hockey, rugby, skateboarding, ski and snowboard, swim, table tennis, unified sports, wrestling. So just to kind of give you an idea, there is just so much. Hopefully you find one of those interesting.
Rowan's a whole world. You know, oftentimes people think when you step on campus or when you hear it from us, you can see that it's a whole different experience, right? And so with that, Jared said he can't wait. He wants to know if we have an early decision. And if so, when are those deadlines? And so we don't have early decision, but what we are committed to is getting you a decision early, right? So when you apply, you will have a quick turnaround, less than, let's say, a week. You would receive a decision and you'd be able to take that step. So excited to give you that information. Joshua says, can you start selecting classes with your academic advisors right now? Can I take the college equivalents of my AP classes my freshman year?
So your courses, you'll get your first semester schedule during orientation when you meet with your academic advisor. So you'll be able to kind of discuss that with them at that moment. If you're taking AP courses, you want to be sure that you are sending, and you take the test, that you have College Board send those scores over as soon as possible so that those scores are being evaluated so that you are not taking the equivalent of those courses in the fall if you pass that test. So it's important to get that done as soon as possible as when you finish that test.
And congratulations on taking AP courses. You've saved yourself credits, time, and money. So congratulations with that.
Yeah, and if anybody is taking any college credits at your high school, it's kind of the same concept. Once you graduate, you will need to contact the university or the institution that you've received those credits to, and be sure to get an official transcript sent to Rowan University so that you can have those credits evaluated. And again, you're not being, signed up for a class that you've already received credit for.
Rebecca wants to know, if I decide to get a subsidized loan and pay most costs after I graduate, can I still pay costs during the school year? Also, do I pay for the freshman rooms monthly, or is that included in my subsidized loan? So, okay.
Do you want to go?
So your subsidized loan, yes, builds interest. You can pay towards your bill while you are a current student, but you are billed semester. So when you see your college financing plan is broken up for the year, but it is divided by 2 because you're billed for your fall semester and you're billed again for your spring semester. Please note that if you choose to take winter courses, which we do offer, as well as summer courses, that is a separate billing, and also a separate financial aid application you must apply. When you apply for aid, that is for an academic year, for fall and spring, but winter and summer are additional approvals.
Yeah, and if I've had a few questions in my email about payment plans. So if you are interested and want to know more about payment plans, you would need to either go onto our website for the bursar's office, and I know that they do offer a a monthly payment plan where you can break up your fall payments into 4 payments, and same with spring. So you would need to work with the bursar's office to set yourself up in that plan.
And definitely they can help you manage it, right? Robert says, as a 3+1 transfer, can I take summer classes towards my degree?
This summer.
Yeah, I want to say, right? So he just says, as a 3+1 transfer, can I take summer classes towards my degree? So maybe in between summers of his 3+1?
I think probably can. I mean, for any student who's thinking about taking classes before the start of the term or looking to take additional classes each semester over the summer or winter session, I would recommend talking to your academic advisor. So everyone at Rowan gets an academic advisor, and we've talked a bit about how students can have multiple majors, minors, concentration, specializations. There's a lot of ways to customize your academic program once you get to campus. And for each of those academic programs, you do get an academic advisor. So an academic advisor is a little bit different than an admissions counselor or a school counselor that you may be used to in high school. And that person is really the expert of your curriculum within that academic program. So let's say you are a double major in biological sciences and English. I'm not sure why you'd want to do that, but let's say you did. And you have two academic advisors. So you'd have a bio advisor and an English advisor. And both of those people are going to help you make sure that you're taking the classes that you need to fulfill requirements to get in and out in 4 years and graduate on time. So I would recommend checking with your academic advisor about taking classes over the summer. If you don't know who your advisor is as an incoming student, you will get to meet your advisor at orientation this summer. If you're really anxious about it and you just want to get a head start, you can also email advise. That's ADVISE @rowan.edu. We do have an advising virtual session later on this month as well. We try to pull up the date for you guys. So if you are interested in advising, that could be a great place to ask. So we're having an academic advising virtual session on May 13th at 2 p.m. So that could be another opportunity to talk to our advisors firsthand and get your questions answered.
Perfect. Nathaniel wants to know, what are some majors that are offered under the School of Business? And so we offer accounting, entrepreneurship, finance, HR management, Bachelor of Science just in management, management information systems, supply chain logistics, as well as marketing. We are really proud of our College of Business and the work that we do and how competitive we are. Have been in the Princeton Review for the past 8 years. And so it is robust and it is varied for your selections and underneath the College of Business, if that helps you.
Yep.
Gianna, do I have to take the Accuplacer test if I meet the score requirements for my ACT and my SAT?
So we would go based off of what you submitted to us, your score that we've reviewed your application with. So if you have questions about that, you can definitely reach out to your admissions counselor to so you're sure. But I know on the checklist, when you get to that testing and placement item, you can click that and it'll bring you to that section of the testing center's website that tells you based on your major how you need to score in the math portion and the reading portion of the test to be able to be exempt from the test. But if you need help with that, totally feel free to reach out to your assigned admissions counselor and they can walk you through it as well.
Okay. Please forgive me if I'm mispronouncing your name. Adiloa. What scholarship package or aid is available for international students? And what is the fate of the international student who has a placement already considering this pandemic? So if you've been an admitted student, you're from an international student, are there scholarships available for her? And what is the fate now given our situation?
Yeah, so international students are eligible for merit scholarships and also what we call a Brown and Gold scholarship. The Brown and Gold will help offset, because international students are paying the out-of-state cost. So that Brown and Gold helps offset that cost a little bit. So we do have an international counselor and she can definitely assist you with being sure that you're being reviewed for that, both of those scholarships. And she's also in the know about what's happening as far as, what's happening on our campus and the pandemic and the fate of the students, who may have been accepted and deposited and what that looks like for the fall. But again, I think that's for all students. Definitely, like Jessica said, check out their own website where they're updating all students on that. As far as, if we're going to, still start in the fall or whatnot.
Jamal wants to know, do you have football? Do we have football? Yes, we have football. We are Division III competitive, and we are really good at what we do. So we do have a football team, and you're welcome, to reach out to the athletics department as well as coaches. There is an admissions counselor that can support you as an athlete to take you for next steps. But feel free to email admissions@rowan.edu, and you will be connected with whatever resource we need to help you to on your home at Rowan and on that field. Okay. I heard that there was going to be a pet therapy course. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Jess, do you know more about the pet therapy?
Yeah, sure. So pet therapy is a brand new program that we have at Rowan. So if you've been following us in the news at all, you may know that last year we received a $3 million donation to start a pet therapy program at Rowan. So it's pretty cool. Even if you're not an animal lover, it's just a cool thing to know that we have. So our pet therapy program is actually housed within our wellness center, and it provides a great resource and support for our students. So you can utilize the Pet Therapy Center in a number of ways. So we have different events throughout the semester. We call them pause, or a break in between finals and midterms. You can just go and hang out with dogs and other therapy animals and just kind of de-stress. So I know I have a dog at home, and when I'm stressed out, I love to just kind of kick it with her and hang out and relax. And if you guys have a pet at home and you're away on campus at school, it might get lonely. You might miss seeing your dog or your cat, and you might want to take advantage of some of those services. So our pet therapy animals can also go with you to your class if you're anxious about a test, or you have to give a speech for public speaking, you're really, really nervous about it, and you think that having that pet there may help support you. So you can do that as well. You could also make an appointment with our wellness center just to go in and hang out with the dog for a 15, 20-minute appointment time. So it's a really great resource that we have on campus. You'll see lots of different pets walking around who are pet therapy animals. Right now, I know we have a bunch of dogs, as well as I think a cat or two. I've heard there may be some other more exotic animals in the pipeline for pet therapy, but as of right now, that's what we're working with. So you can check out our website. It is actually a pretty cool program. Again, that's really unique to Rowan. That's a great question. Thanks for asking.
Another question from our crew. With the Raise.me, is it like a yearly scholarship that they offer? And so Raise.me for in-state students is up to $6,000, and for out-of-state it's up to $9,000. And it is awarded as a scholarship that is yearly. You have to maintain at least a 2.5 GPA. I know I said that with a question mark. But of course we know that you'll go far and beyond that, and you'll maintain your scholarship. But it is awarded based upon how you can tickle and earn your dollars through Raise.me. And then based upon how you have earned that, you've earned, say, $5,500, that is your scholarship, and that is your scholarship for the next 4 years for each year. So please go on to Raise.me, earn your dollars, and make sure that they're submitted so that that can be awarded to you upon your acceptance. Mar says, I use Common App. If I'm accepted, how would I know? Also, when would the Common App be done being checked over? So you really want to know what is the process of reviewing the Common App. So it opens in August for our rising seniors. So if you're a junior right now, you can get ready this summer to open it up and complete it. And once it's submitted and it's in our system, about, let's say, a week for a turnaround, you'll receive a decision. So Rowan is really excited about giving you that those decisions quickly so you can make your decision. Right. Erin says, are there jobs on campus? Yes, there's jobs on campus. We have one federal student, your federal student work study can happen through your FAFSA by completing that. And the federal government will award you funds to work on campus. And then there is institutional jobs on campus that you can work in offices such as the Office of Admissions or other offices on campus. Our Office of Career Advancement actually hosts a job fair for students to apply for jobs for on campus, as well as community partners that you can apply for as well. So we understand that this is an investment, and you need to be able to continue working if that's what you choose to do. So we're here to offer opportunities for that as well. Another question from Shamar. Also, if accepted, what is the payment information for me to pay when I get to Rowan? So my colleague Teresa, just to review, the bursar, and sometimes we don't even know what the word bursar means. That's who takes your money. That's the bill collector, right? But the bill collector works with you and helps you create payment plans. There's a payment plan set up for your fall semester, broken up in 4 payments, and then you re-up with that next 4 payment plan for the spring to assist you finishing the year. Okay, Josh says, will you be paying subsidized loans? Oh, did he answer that question? While in school, or will the payments be deferred until graduation? Yeah, so subsidized, those loans will accrue your interest, and then unsubsidized it will not. And then 6 months after you graduate, that's when your loans will have to begin being paid. But if you hear in the news, you talk about loans being stop with interest now, then you work if the payment may be reasonable for you or not. You talk to the lender, and then you can work on your payments that way. But as you go through, our Office of Financial Aid is impeccable at helping you navigate how much you should take, whether you should take more or not, or enough, so that you're not overpaying and over withdrawing funds that you do not need when you're attending the institution. The goal is to get through school, have it paid for, but be able to pay your loans back if you choose to take them, okay? Giselle says, are there academic support services on campus, such as tutoring and writing centers? So I know I'm talking a lot, so you know.
Yeah, sure. We have a lot of support programs for students, the Writing Center. We have our tutoring center on campus, which was really helpful for me as well. The nice thing about the tutoring center is that they already have tutors in place for most common classes. But if there's a class that you're taking that they don't have a tutor for, they will find you a tutor, which is really great, and it's helpful for our courses. The Writing Center is really nice if you need help with papers. You can submit that, and they'll work with you through, editing your paper. And then we just have a number of different support services on campus. We have our Academic Success Center. So, I think Jess talked a little bit about, having support through the animal pet therapy program. But if you, in high school needed, extra time on a test, or, have anything that kind of makes you nervous when you're taking a test or in class, you can work with our Academic Success Center, and they will make sure that there are things in place for you so that you are, being able to study and perform the best as a student. So whatever it is that we can help you with, the Academic Success Center is super helpful as well.
That's what sorry, Janelle. Out of our Academic Success Center, too, we have a program. I think it's been around a couple of years. I just learned about it recently, and I think it's really cool. It's called Academic Coaching. So Teresa's right. We absolutely have a writing center, a tutoring center. We have a lot of services for students that are you already paid for in your fees, so you're not paying anything additional for that. It's totally free. You guys just show up and take advantage of those services. But academic coaching is a little bit different, and that's open to any student regardless of major. And we had a question earlier on the chat asking about the schedule for a freshman student, and there is a major difference between your schedule and what you're used to in high school versus when you come to college. You may have a lot more free time. You may not have class until, let's say, 1 o'clock in the afternoon. You might have class at 8 a.m. So you may have more free time, and you may need some help with time management or study skills on your own. I know when I was in high school many years ago, I won't share how long ago, I had a really hard time getting up by myself with my mom waking me up when my alarm went off. So if you're running into those type of issues once you get to campus, it is a major adjustment for students. So taking advantage of academic coaching just to go over some basic study skills, time management, just living away from home, even overseeing a budget by yourself for the first time, you can take advantage of that resource as well.
And I'm trying to go in from the bottom up so we can try to get some of the questions. Where will the recording be held? So if there are some students who had an opportunity to log off, or if you can't stay the whole time, where will the recording be located for students who'd like to come back?
Sure. So all the recordings from these sessions will be posted on our website and our Rowan University YouTube channel within the next week or so. So it will take us a little bit of time to make sure all of the presentations are transcribed for closed captioning before we post them online. So that's why it's not an immediate posting. I know some people are looking for a presentation right away. If you guys are interested, though, in getting the physical PowerPoint presentation from this session, you can email admissions@rowan.edu, and we can send you that copy today. But I would just stay posted for that recording. If you want to keep in touch with us, or at least reach out to your admission counselor, I can let you know when that goes public.
Okay. Awesome. So we do have a question about marine science, and do we offer that specifically? I know we offer environmental science as a major, but I don't know if any of the ladies have some insight or experiences with maybe a consortium or connections for students when it relates to their interest with marine science.
I don't have any knowledge of a marine science program or any, well, we don't have one, but what you're saying, a consortium or anything, so no.
And so we do offer environmental science, and I would offer you to just email us, right, so that we can dig a little deeper. Oftentimes we see majors, colleges and universities make names sexy, and we want to know, we're really interested in something, and the name may be something very similar to something as we may already offer, but we don't call it that. So email us so we can talk to you specifically to see what your actual interest is, and perhaps we can offer something that is aligned with what you're looking for, but we just don't call it marine science. So I offer, I really implore you to come and connect with us.
Yeah.
Okay. Are summer college courses available? Yes, we do have a summer semester for students that's offered. Oftentimes, students take courses to get their credits completed to graduate early, along with our graduate degree in 3 program that allows students to take courses in the summer as well.
Yep.
A student wants to know, what is an internship? They want to know, what is an internship? So I don't know if anybody wants to share.
So internships are basically your way of getting your feet wet in your major. Most of our programs require internships, some don't, but they are highly recommended. So you essentially can work with our Career Center. Like I told you, I got my first internship through one of my professors in the finance department. And you'll be working with a company or wherever, an industry, and you're going to be basically getting some real life experience in that major. I worked for a credit card processing company, and then I also had a class as well. So while the class didn't meet weekly, we met like once a month to discuss, what was our experiences in our internship, what were we learning. So we were able to tie what we were learning in class to the real world, so that when you graduate, you do have some experience. And I think that's really important. Because once you graduate college, you're going to start looking for jobs, and you're going to be going on interviews. And it's really important to have that on your resume, so that you're not just coming out as a student, but you're coming out with some experience. So, while most internships are going to happen in your senior year, I did 2 internships. I did one in my junior year, totally on my own, didn't receive credit for it, but because I knew how important it was, I went out and, put my foot out there just to be sure that I had some extra experience. So that looks different for each major. But again, I think where we are in South Jersey, close to Philadelphia, it is robust with different opportunities for all students across all majors. Yeah. And I just think, it's important that you are a part of that process when you're choosing your internship, because you don't want to be placed into something that you don't see a future in. So we really ask that you become part of that process. For me, that's why I was really hands-on with picking my internship, because I wanted to make sure that it was in alignment with what my future goals were. So you are definitely part of that process. We don't just place you somewhere just for an internship's sake. You're definitely part of that process.
And I want to extend with a question. A student is asking about computer science interns. And so similarly to Ms. Burgos, when she shared, Office of Career Advancement is the hub of being able to also find internships and additional experiences. Make them your friend. They want to see you come in the door. They want to be able to connect you with community partners. As she shared, we are in the hub. And when you're looking at institutions, it's about location. Between being near Philadelphia, NYC, DC area, we have great experiences for internships and externships for you, along with computer science. And so that's where you can find some connections, and that we do offer those experiences for you. And what I love, sorry, I got excited, was that we have so many job fairs that we offer for various majors. And that's just not for those students who are graduating and looking for employment. They're looking for interns as well. And, as a part of my experience as an alum, I got my first job internship from a career fair. And so we are excited about outcomes here at Rowan University, and this is where this begins for you. So you guys are asking some amazing questions. We're happy that we have the resources and can say that we could do that for you. Nathaniel says, I want to go under real estate. Which school would I apply under specifically?
So real estate is a license that you would do outside of, and there are specific programs outside of Rowan. We don't offer a real estate kind of license or programming, but I think for someone who's getting in real estate would fare really well in a business type program. Business, we're seeing business really tie really well into a lot of our majors. We now have business in one of our engineering programs, which is engineering entrepreneurship. So for my suggestion, is while you won't be able to do a real estate license at Rowan, somewhere in that realm, I think business is a great kind of catch-all program.
As real estate is your own business, right? And so oftentimes we're looking and are told by others, mentors, and the media that we need multiple streams. So real estate is a stream, but you have to be able to manage that. Manage is business, right? Entrepreneurship is business. So this will help foster those skills and strengthen your future real estate ideas and growth in business that you'd like to continue.
Okay.
Someone says, and I know they didn't mean to say this, does Rutgers offer scholarships? Well, I'm sure Rutgers does, but Rowan University offers scholarships as well. We honor students for their merit, their hard work as undergrad, during their high school years, not only through their academics, but through Raise.me. In addition, if you're not awarded a scholarship coming in as a freshman, we still continue to honor that through foundational scholarships for matriculated students. What does it mean to be matriculated? That is a student who has deposited, going to school, taking credits, and you're a freshman and you rock out your freshman year and you're like, I need some money. You can apply for a scholarship as well. I share with students as an alum, I didn't receive scholarship money when I came in as a freshman, but I did really well my freshman year. And I was awarded the Bill Gates Millennial Scholarship as a freshman that paid for my tuition my sophomore and junior year, full tuition, right? So we offer millions of dollars to students foundationally who are current students for scholarship money. So know that when you're coming in, you have an opportunity, and while you're here, you have an opportunity as well. I want to make sure we catch it. The question was about Rowan Choice. What is Rowan Choice, and could we give some insight about that?
Sure. So Rowan Choice is a partnership program that we have with our partnership college, RCSJ now, which is our Gloucester County campus. Not ours, but a partnership. And Rowan Choice is a program which allows students to really get university experience by living on our Glassboro campus, but they're actually taking their first year credit through RCSJ. It's a one-year program, so once you complete that first year, you're able to transition very seamlessly. Like I said, the transfer process in New Jersey and at Rowan is very seamless, and it's almost like you were a Rowan student the whole time, because you are essentially your classes through RCSJ. The goal of the program is to, one, offer an opportunity to students, again, to have that experience on campus at a cheaper price, because you will be paying the tuition through the community college that first year. So if you guys want to add on to that.
I know that, Rowan, if you'd like to extend it, I want to say after the year, you do have that option to do that. Right. Yeah. And just to a student wanted clarification on what is a merit scholarship. That is your academic scholarship based on your SATs, ACTs, and or GPA. Academically, how well did you, how competitive were you as a high school student? And that's what a merit scholarship is. Okay? Versus an athletic scholarship, looking at your athleticism and competitiveness in that. New point for students, we are Division III. We don't give athletic scholarships, but you can compete competitively, as I shared before. Giselle left us, but we know that you love Rowan and you really meant Rowan, not Rutgers. What else do we have here? How much on-campus housing is there? Generally, as a junior or senior, would you be likely to live on campus?
Yeah,
I can hop in if you want. So we, as of right now, we do guarantee housing for our freshmen and sophomore students. We have tons of different housing options. In your first year, you would have access to any of our freshman residence halls, including Holly Point Commons, which is our newest residential hall on campus. It is beautiful, but we also offer some more traditional freshman residence halls as well. After your first year, you would have access to our upperclassmen housing options, on-campus apartments. We have on-campus townhouses. You could also live in our Rowan Boulevard housing complexes too. So Teresa had talked earlier about Rowan Boulevard, which is a really robust, super cool downtown Main Street area of campus where there's restaurants and shopping and entertainment, just some really cool stuff going on. It's a great place to hang out, grab a bite to eat, and just see your friends. And above all of those retail spaces is housing for students as well. Most juniors and seniors who do want to stay on campus typically don't have an issue with it. In previous years, we have had to wait list depending on the demand. Every year that tends to change a little bit. And by the time you get to campus, you're a junior or senior, we may have even more housing than we have now. We have the most housing we've ever had in our history, and it's absolutely beautiful. So if you're interested in housing, you can check out their website. They actually have a pretty detailed brochure of all of the different housing options on campus, including whether there's carpet or tile, overhead lights, or you need to bring a lamp, and average square footage. So it's very, very detailed. And there is a housing session later on this month as well. I'll pull up the date for you guys if anyone's interested, and they'll also talk more about just some of the different housing options. And then if you guys are incoming students, the housing application, how to apply for housing. So if you're interested in the residential learning and university housing virtual session, it is on the 15th at 2 o'clock. You guys will just go right back to our website and register for that session like you did for this one today.
Okay. There's a question about track and field. It says, how do you apply for track or XC? And I don't know if XC, oh, cross country. So we do have cross country as well as women's and men's track, competitive sports as well. And I'm going to post a link in the chat for you to grab that to see more information, and feel free to email us for some connections, as well as our counselor who supports athletes as well. Okay. If you have to take, Peter, if you have to take a placement test, is that being offered currently? And so from what I understand, the AccuPlacer is offered online, and you can take it at home in the comfort of your home, so that you can, if you'd like to not use your assessment scores to be waived from the required score for the AccuPlacer. Okay. Make sure we have everything.
I saw that Shamar, he's being mindful of time as we're getting close to 12 o'clock, but see Shamar, he's asked a ton of great questions today, said, you're coming to all of our virtual sessions, you can't wait to come to Rowan, you want to go to Rowan so bad. That's awesome, and we hope to see you on campus too. And as soon as we can all get back to campus, it'd be great to see everyone in person and virtually, but we're excited to see you at more of our virtual events, Shamar.
Dr. Saeed, do you know, or Ms. Burgos, if I'm going to be a freshman in the fall 2020, can I take a course this summer?
Yeah, so for incoming students, you can certainly take summer courses. Again, I would recommend reaching out to your academic advisor. We will have all of our summer courses right now at Rowan are scheduled to be online, so it would be nice and easy for you guys to take some online courses, again, depending on what your advisor would recommend in terms of your academics, even while you're staying at home this summer. So that could certainly be an option. Again, if you don't know who your academic advisor is, you'll find out at orientation this summer, or you can email advise, ADVISE, @rowan.edu, and they can help you pick some classes that may be, you know, good requirements that would fulfill a lot of areas depending on your major. Yeah, so I think at this point, you know, we're really close to 12 o'clock. We had so many great questions today. I cannot thank our students enough who participated, asked so many great questions. We recognize there's questions that we're going to run out of time and not be able to get to. We know it's about lunchtime, so students, you guys might be getting hungry, or it could be breakfast if some of you guys just woke up for the session. But if you have any questions that are unanswered, please email us at admissions@rowan.edu, or get in touch with your admissions counselor. We are more than happy to reach out, schedule a virtual one-on-one appointment, set up a phone call, and answer any questions that we weren't able to get to today. So I really want to thank you guys for joining us this morning. I know, again, 11 o'clock is a little bit early for some of you these days. I know people are sleeping into the afternoons and that everyone's home, but I do appreciate you guys getting up and asking just fantastic questions and really being interested in Rowan today.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to meet everyone virtually.
Hope to see you guys on campus soon.
All right.
Bye.